Hi friends, welcome back to my channel. My name's Jack, this is Jthbooks, and it's time to talk about the November TBR, and it's going to be a big one. So I have read this year so far 85 books, and my goal for the year on StoryGraph is 100. So if I've read 85 books, that means I need to read 15 in the next 2 months. Now that doesn't sound like that many over that, but we all know that could be a struggle for me, especially after the October I've had, which I'll explain in the wrap up. But so 15 over 2 months, so that's 8 1 month and 7 another. If my maths is correct, which, let's be honest, it never is. And December, I work in a restaurant. It's just awful time for me, December. I don't like it. So November needs to be the month of 8 books. Stop looking at me like that. I know you're looking at me thinking, you can't do that, Jack. I'm thinking it too. We're feeling very mutual here. But I've got to try. So, 8 books. So the plan is a couple of short ones, books I just really want to read, books I just stare at me from a shelf and say, why aren't you reading me yet? And I'm like, I don't know, I'm sorry. So that's what's going to happen this month. And for the 8th book, I'll read the 8th book at the end of the month, obviously, and I'm going to let you, my friends, decide. So obviously there's always got to be a non-fiction one. I've done a non-fiction every month. So for this non-fiction, for this month, we're going to go How We Fight for Our Lives, a memoir by Saeed Jones, which is relatively short. I don't know much about this one. Haunted and Haunting, How We Fight for Our Lives is a stunning coming-of-age memoir. Jones tells the story of a young black gay man from the South as he fights to carve out a place for himself within his family, within his country, within his hopes, desires and fears. Through a series of vignettes that chart a course across the American landscape, Jones draws readers into his boyhood and adolescence, into tumultuous relationships with family, into passing flings with lovers, friends and strangers. Each piece builds a larger examination of race and queerness, power and vulnerability, love and grief, a portrait of what we all do for one another and to one another as we fight to become ourselves. Well, that does sound bloody brilliant. So, and vignettes, that means it'd be short. But I do remember Simon Savage, my friend, read this a long time ago and he said it was quite a difficult read at points. So, I'm going to be prepared for that. But that is my non-fiction for the month. Then, because I've always heard such brilliant things about it, my dear friend, I can't remember her name. My dear friend Monique, over at Bookwitch Reviews, loves this author, loves this book, loves this series, and it is The Long Way to a Small Angry Planet by Becky Chambers. When Rosemary Harper joins the crew of the Wayfarer, she isn't expecting much. The Wayfarer, a patched-up ship that's seen better days, offers her everything that she could possibly want. A small, quiet spot to call home for a while, adventure in far-off corners of the galaxy, and distance from her troubled past. But Rosemary gets more than she bargained for with the Wayfarer. The crew is a mishmash of species and personalities. From Sissix, the friendly reptilian pilot, to Kizzy and Jenks, the constantly sparring engineers who keep the ship running. Life on board is chaotic, but more or less peaceful, exactly what Rosemary wants. So, I've really heard brilliant things about this from so many people, but like I said, my friend Monique champions this, so I'm finally going to read this. See, first 2, they sound good, so I'm excited. And then, like I said, short and sweet, I picked this up from Gatesworld. God, probably back in May, and obviously haven't read it. This is Box Hill by Adam Mars Jones, and it's one of the Fitzcarraldo editions. A bit damaged because I fell down the side of my bed and I didn't realise. On the Sunday of his 18th birthday, 1975, Colin takes a walk on Box Hill, a biker hangout. There, he accidentally trips over Ray, a biker napping under a tree, and that's where it all starts. The transgressive, darkly affecting love story between men, the winner of the 2019 Fitzcarraldo Edition's Nobel Prize, is a stunning novel of desire and domination by one of Britain's most accomplished writers. Well, it does sound pretty brutal, doesn't it? I've never tripped over someone napping. Probably because I would be the person napping, let's be honest. Somebody would trip over me. But under a tree? Have I ever fallen asleep under a tree? That's so not important. I don't know why I'm even thinking about it, but I probably have. Yeah, look, short. I got to reach 100. I reached 100 last year. I'm not doing it this year because I feel like I had a really good reading year, but apparently not. Next up, another short one. You're going to be like, if you think this is cheating, let me know, but don't be nasty. 100 Boyfriends by Brontes Purnell. Transgressive theme. Transgressive, foul-mouthed and wildly funny, Brontes Purnell's 100 Boyfriends is a filthy, unforgettable and brutally profound ode to queer love in its most messy of variations. From one-night stands to recurring lovers, Purnell's characters sleep with their co-workers' husbands, expose themselves to racist neighbours, date Satanists and drink their way out of trouble, all while fighting and often losing the urge to self-sabotage. A horny punk love... I never thought I'd say horny on this channel, but here we are. A horny punk love song full of imperfect intimacies. 100 Boyfriends takes readers on a riotous journey through dirty warehouses and gentrified bars, from dysfunctional hair showers to desolate farming towns in Alabama, drawing us into a community of glorious misfits living on the margins of a white supremacist, heteronormative society. Iconoclastic storyteller. Iconoclastic? No, I don't think I'm saying that right, but I'm not smart. We've never agreed that I am. Brontes Purnell gives us an uncompromising vision of desire, desperation, race, loneliness, and queerness that will devastate as much as it entertains. I want to be devastated. I really am in the mood to be devastated. I haven't feel like I haven't had a book in a while that's really like gut punch affected me. And that is what I'm after. So, can I get this month? Let's hope so. Then I got this book I got for Christmas last year. It is, or maybe my birthday. My sister's very generous. Cloud Atlas by David Mitchell. Now, I don't know much about this one. My idea of it is... Oh, well, I've just read it. Like, yeah, it's told from, like, different perspectives in different places, but they all interlink somehow. And I've just read this. 6 interlocking lives, one amazing adventure. In a narrative that circles the globe and reaches from the 19th century to a post-Apollo future, Cloud Atlas erases the boundaries of time, genre and language to offer an enthralling vision of humanity's will to power and where it will lead us. I have high expectations. And you know what we say? High expectations ruin things. But I have them. But it is nearly 500 pages. So it's a chunky one. It's not, it is for over 500 pages. 529. So, not the best book to choose for the month I want to read quick. But it's too late. It is too late. I'm really excited for this one. It could be the first read of the month, to be honest, because that's how excited I am. Next up, I ordered this from Gaze the Word. Maybe last month, 2 months ago. But it is First Time for Everything by Henry Fry. I literally put up on my Instagram story, I don't know what to read next. And Henry Fry replied and said, read my book, because he saw it on my shelves. And I said, I will. That's why I'm reading this. But it does sound good. Good. Danny Scud is absolutely fine. At 27, his life isn't exactly awful. He's escaped his parents' tiny fish and chip shop for a proper writing job in London. His beloved collection of houseplants are thriving, and he's just celebrated his first anniversary with his boyfriend Tobes. But Danny's life is thrown into a chaos when he discovers at an STI clinic that Tobes might be cheating on him. And then he and his plants are unceremoniously evicted from his London flat. So he's forced to move in with his best friend Jacob, a flamboyant, non-binary artist whose Danny's known since childhood, and their eccentric group of friends in East London. For the first time, and with the help of an inscrutable therapist and colourful new housemates, Danny realises how little he knows about himself, and slowly starts to question whether he's fine after all. It's just what I want. Funny, touching, fabulous, a little slice of queer joy. You know me, I love some queer joy. Queer joy will also be a good read. And I'm just really excited. I really, really I think this author is awesome on Instagram. So, let's hope his book is. I'm sure it will be. I've heard great things. So, what is that number? That's number 6. Then I'm going to read Never Been Kissed by Timothy Janovsky. When Roland has never... Oh, when. His name's Ren, not when. Ren Roland. Oh, Ren Roland. What a difficult name. Ren Roland has never been kissed, but he wants that movie-perfect ending more than anything. Feeling nostalgic on the eve of his birthday, he sends emails to all the boys, he loved before he came out. Morning brings the inevitable, oh God, what did I do? But he brushes that panic aside. Why stress about it? None of his could have beens are actually going to read the emails, much less respond, right? Enter Derek Haverford, Ren's #1 pre-coming out crush and his drive-in theatre's new social media intern. Everyone claims he's coasting on cinematic good looks and his father's connections, but Ren has always known there's much more to Derek than meets the eye. Too bad he doesn't feel the same way about the infamous almost kiss that once rocked Ren's world. Whatever. Whatever. Ren's no longer a closeted teenager. He can survive this. But as their hazy summer begins consumed with the special project that they may have just struggling to... I'm going to read that sentence again because no one understood that. But as their hazy summer becomes consumed with the special project that may just save the struggling drive-in, Ren and Derek are drawn ever closer, and maybe, finally, Ren's dream of a perfect kiss before the credits is within reach. A feel-good summer LGBTQI+, new adult rom-com perfect for fans of Red, White, Roller Brute, Boyfriend Material, and What If It's Us. Like, I don't read many books like this. I have very high expectations for this. And, yeah, I want more. And Timothy, I think it is out now, has released a Christmas rom-com, and I want to get my hands on that. I haven't been very well, and I have a big box bookmark here, and I think it might be in there, but it's not been opened yet because I'm just not quite feeling up to it. But very excited for this. Very excited for this. Oh, I've just remembered in this. Do you want to see? See that? Oh God, who knows if I'm even see now. In there somewhere is the first to die at the end by Adam Silvera, and I was going to include that this month, so that might get traded out for one of them. Who knows? But no, okay. Here we go. I know which one it is. Okay, so now this is up to you. Actually, I've changed my mind. Sorry, that other book I've just thrown. You get to pick the 8th book of the month. You can either pick Tomorrow and Tomorrow and Tomorrow by Gabrielle Zevin, which is about... This is not a romance, but it is about love. 2 kids meet in a hospital gaming room in 1987. One is visiting her sister, the other is recovering from a car crash. The days and months are long. Their love of video games becomes a shared... What's wrong with me? Their love of video games becomes a shared world of joy, escape, and fierce competition. But all too soon that time is over, fades from view. When the pair spot each other 8 years later in a crowded train station, they are catapulted back to that moment. The spark is immediate, and together they get to work on what they love, making games to delight, challenge, and immerse players. Finding intimacy in digital worlds that eludes them in their real lives, their collaborations make them superstars. But this is the story of the perfect worlds Saeed and Sam build. They're the imperfect world they live in, and oh my God, and of everything that comes after success. Money, fame, duplicity, tragedy. Now, all I know about this is people don't want to go into it because it's sort of video game heavy, but I know it's so much more than that. It is, it's meant to be really heartfelt. It's really meant to tug at your heartstrings. It's basically about love. So, I've not heard anyone dislike this. Literally no one. So, I'm excited for this one. Or then we have, I'm not opening it yet because I'm going to do an unboxing video if you'd like to see that. I don't know. Who knows? What is in here now, Jack? Stupid fool. In here we have The First to Die at the End by Adam Silvera. I can't read what it's about, obviously, because it's in a box. But I do believe it is about the first 2 boys who get the call from the death cast, which we see in They Both Die at the End, which is a hugely popular book. TikTok loves it. Everyone loves it. This is sort of the prequel to it. So I'm very excited to read this. Again, I've chosen this because it's a heartbreaker. I just want to feel things. I just want to feel real love. I don't know why that happened. Please pretend you didn't hear me sing. Or dance and sway like that. So, Am I going to read this? Yeah, well, it's up to you if I read this. So, I say so a lot, don't I? It's very annoying. And trust me, I know myself more than I can annoy any of you. So, this is the TBR. This is 7, and you get to vote for the last 2. Somebody please vote, because if no one votes, it's going to be really embarrassing for me, isn't it? And I only get 7 read. Right, so thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it. I hope this is a little bit of fun for you to decide what I read. Maybe we could make this a regular thing. I pick 2 and you all decide, and it's the last book I read of every month. Maybe it's a new thing, or you could give me suggestions of what to read. No, we'll stick with the I pick out of the 2. We'll try that. We'll try that for November, December, and see how it goes. Because if no one votes, and it's going to be so embarrassing for me. And I suffer enough embarrassment. It's just my daily life. I don't need it on the internet. But I sort of do it to myself on the internet. Okay, rein it back in. Let me know if you've read any of these. If you want to read any of these, don't forget to vote. Because, like I said, stop talking about me embarrassed. Thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it. Feel free to like and subscribe. Because why wouldn't you? It's a mess. Why wouldn't you want to watch this every week? I wish I could get out 2 videos a week, but it doesn't seem to work for me really, does it? No, it doesn't. Anyway, thank you so much for watching. I'm going to speak to you all really soon. And I'll see you next week for the October wrap-up, where I'm going to have some explaining to do. I'll speak to you all really, really soon.